All right, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer, for inviting me and all the students at Trinity University. Welcome to the Sikh spiritual model of counseling. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. This is a greeting among Sikhs. It's a salutation which has got twofold meaning. First is the expression of a special relationship between God and those who dedicate their entire life to good deeds and truthfulness. That is God's service. And second is the expression of that faith in the ultimate triumph and victory of the forces of goodness, which despite all apparent setbacks, trials and travails, is the just and essential end of the fight between good and evil in the world. So when somebody greets you with Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, you know what it means. The Sikh spiritual model of counseling, I have presented it in different forums, and it is published in Spirituality and Health International. I will not go into that. To start our mood to talk, I'll show you some slides. You can see the poll. It was seen in Nairobi. Zimbabwe, special for the day, no fuel. Guys carry the goat. And somebody painting the swimming pool. And when you got a problem with your computer, the way I had just now, when you phone for help, this is where in India it goes. Now, these things are not only for love. It has got a meaning that every culture, every country have got their own ways of dealing with the problems. No technology, but they know how to paint their swimming pool, and they did it. They carried their goat, but not that pole in the middle of the road. But all these wires, it still work. So my point is that when we got a problem in life, we should learn from each other, because every culture has got their own way of dealing with it, and it is helpful to learn from each other. What is mental health? Mental health is a state of well-being characterized by continuing personal growth, a sense of purpose in life, self-acceptance, and positive relationship with others. A purpose of life is very important, especially with the people who are retired. When they retire, they got nothing else to do. They don't know what to do when they get up in the morning. So they have to find a purpose to live. The ability to maintain a balance between positive and negative emotions, such as elation and sadness. We might be elated one day, but the next moment we could be sad. So when we get sad, that's when depression comes, suicidal thoughts come. So we have to make a balance between these two. And factors affecting the mental health are like our social relationships at home, with friends, work, community life. I can give you the example of community life these days. What happened with the First Nations children remains found. It is affecting not only that community, but other communities. So we should know how to deal with the problems when they come. Important influence is the stress. Stress could be, I've just given only a few examples, like 3-4, death in the family, or loss of a job, loss of a loved one, family illness, girlfriend breaks away, boyfriend breaks away. So all these stresses cause mental health problems, especially depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts. Social support is very, very important in dealing with mental health problems. So teaching coping skills before the problem comes, before the crisis, is very, very important. Because once one is in depression, one is in anxiety, dealing at that time, at that crisis level, becomes difficult. So we should try that we don't get into crisis, because no one in this world can say that I don't get a problem in our life. So the problem, we have to deal with it before the crisis comes. So prevention is better than the cure. According to World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not just disease-free. So health triangle is an equilateral triangle with medical science at the bottom. Social science and spiritual science are as important as medical science. If any one of them disappears, triangle disappears, and our health, proper full health, disappears. We get into problem. So what's the role of religion and spirituality in mental health? That is the point today. Various studies have shown that those clients receiving religious and spiritual psychotherapy showed significantly more rapid improvements in their anxiety symptoms than those received supportive psychotherapy and medication only. A study done on severely mentally ill and chemically dependent inpatients showed that patients viewed spirituality essential to their recovery, but the nursing staff underestimated it. So when I say I treat, God cures, it helps a lot of people that God is with them to help. So what is spirituality? I would like to ask this question, if anybody wants to answer me. What is spirituality? What is the difference between religion and spirituality for you? Anyone? I won't spend much time waiting. Let me go and describe what religion and spirituality is.
I would say,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to guess religion's more organized, I guess, and spirituality can be, it's more personal. People, well, not more personal, but it can be a lot more things, whereas religion is more organized, I would say. At least I'm fine with my clients. Spirituality can be almost anything.
Yeah. In fact, no answer is correct and no answer is right. Everybody has got their own views. But religion is not just one, there are many. Spirituality is one. The spiritual message from all religions is same, but the problem is our priests don't tell us. They preach us the differences. That's all. Religion is for those who sleep because we follow our religious rituals blindly. Spirituality is for those who are awake because we reason, we ask questions, and we learn, and we work on that. Religion does not tolerate any question, while spirituality questions everything. Religion threatens and frightens that God will punish you. Spirituality gives inner peace. That is a blissful state. Religion feeds on fear. Spirituality feeds on truthful life. Religion speaks of sin and guilt. Spirituality says, learn from the error. Religion is a cause of division because every religion has a different and better God. Spirituality unites because it is not God. Religion worships God. Spirituality sees God in everyone. Religion feeds on ego, power, greed, and fear. Spirituality drives on humbleness and unconditional love. Religion fills us with the dreams of glory in paradise. Spirituality makes us live the glory and paradise on earth. Religion lives in the past and in the future. Spirituality lives in the present. Religion promises life after death. All the religions, all the priests, they all talk about after death. Spirituality promises peaceful life in present. So we are not human beings who are go through a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings who go through a human experience. We should remember this one. So in a nutshell, spirituality is not worship or rituals to please God, but good deeds and positive, realistic attitude towards self and others to make life joyful. I will discuss these things with the Sikh perspective in the coming slides. So positive attitude. The holy book of Sikhs is called Guru Granth Sahib. On page 339, it says, "Let people slander me, talk of my shortcomings. I like it." Who likes to be slandered? No one. But here it says, I like it. Because only then I will know my shortcomings. I will then work to get rid of them. So I love those who are slandering me. At the end, I will improve myself and lead a good life, but slanderer stays the same. So when somebody slanders me, I can get angry. It affects my mental health. But if I see the slanderer as somebody who's trying to help me, I will look into it, that why he slandered me. And once I improve myself, I will go and thank the slanderer. Good way to improve mental health. Prevention is better than cure. In the same way, being rich does not bring happiness, nor does being poor brings unhappiness. That is a positive attitude. It's the attitude towards money that makes one happy or unhappy. In the same way, one's attitude towards illness brings happiness or unhappiness. So it is the attitude. Even if I am having a 4th stage of cancer, I am happy because I feel that the good health was also a gift and ill health is also a gift. So positive attitude. I will not get into depression. So what is joyful or blissful state? When somebody is always happy and never get into a mental health problem. To understand it, we got few words: pleasure, happiness, ecstatic state, state of well-being and fulfillment. Pleasure is, I go to somebody's place, I go to Jennifer and Jennifer gives me a nice cup of coffee. In fact, whenever I come there to the school, she always gives me a cup of coffee. Today I'm missing it. So I drink that coffee, I'm happy, pleasure for a few minutes, and it goes away. Happiness is, I'm talking to the young girls and boys. This is an example. A boy has been trying to get attention of a girl and she responds today and is happy. That happiness stays only for a little while and then it becomes a normal thing. Ecstatic, I got a lottery, jackpot. Ecstatic for some time and then it wanes away. State of well-being. I am very happy. I've got a good wife, I've got a good husband. My children are all educated, well settled, house mortgage free, state of well-being and fulfillment. But the things can change. My wife starts saying, I don't want to live with you anymore. Children want to go away. House gets a problem. So that happiness is gone. And all these things give us mental health problems, all of them. But when we are in a blissful state, real happiness, blissful state does not come from external sources, but it comes from within. Think of a goal in your life. Say it is wealth. In fact, everybody, I don't think so there is anyone in this world who says my goal of life is not to get rich. 99.99% is to get rich. Reason? I will live a happy life. I can buy everything. I'll be healthy. I will leave the money for my children. We assume that it will make me and my family happy. So we invest our time into this. People get 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They neglect their spouse. They neglect their children. They neglect everyone. And there are times when people get into illegal activities, drug dealings. We have seen in Vancouver. We read it in the newspapers every day. People courier drugs in the trucks. Return what we get. We neglected our children. Children they don't study. They get into drug problems. They get into gangs. We neglect our spouse. There's a broken family. And then there are times when people get into jail because of that. So did it give us happiness? Answer is no. We were mistaken. Is it good to hope for more wealth, to be more rich? Answer is yes. It is good to hope, but it should not be an expectation. So when it becomes an expectation, then we get into illegal activities. We get greedy. And we get into problems, which leads to mental health problems. So what's needed is to try within our means and within our time. We should spend the time with the family. Be happy with what we have. Hope and try for more, honestly and within means. That will improve the mental health. Prevention is better than cure. Consumerism. We are bombarded every day with millions of ads through TV, through radio, through flyers, to buy things which will make our life easy and happy. We see TV programs which show ordinary people who do the same job as us, live much better life than us, have got a house on the beach, and we don't even have a condo. We see models wearing better dresses and looking better than us. We try to imitate them. That gives us anxiety. That gives us depression. We get into mental health problems. We start comparing ourselves with them. Though we are not poor, we got everything, but when we start comparing with them, that is called relative poverty. Is it true what these messages tell us? The answer is no. Goal was to be happy. We equated wealth with happiness. That became an expectation. Failure to become wealthy gave us unhappiness and depression and suicidal problems. Depression trends. In 1950s, there were 100 per million depressed clients. 2000s, it became 100,000 per million. In 1950s, no pharmaceutical company was ready to make antidepressants. In 2008, it's the most prescribed drug in USA. Harvard School of Public Health, depression is the second cause of disability and years lost or premature death. In Canada, major insurer reports depression is currently #1 cause of long-term disability claims. Reason, I gave you, most of it. Happy Planet Index. It's life expectancy in years multiplied by life satisfaction divided by ecological footprints. life expectancy in 2005 to 2010, according to UN World Population. Japan number 1, Hong Kong number 2, Canada is number 8. Costa Rica, a small country, is number 31. USA 38. 2016, here Japan was number 1, Hong Kong was number 2. Now Hong Kong is number 1, Japan is number 2. Canada doesn't come in the first 8. Satisfaction with life. Denmark number 1, Switzerland number 2, Canada is number 10. USA is 23. 2016, Switzerland number 1, Norway number 2. Now Canada doesn't come anywhere. Number in first 7. Ecological footprints, Luxembourg, Australia, Hong Kong, that is 2016. Now comes the calculation. Happy Planet Index. Which country is number 1 in Happy Planet Index? Can anyone guess? Is it Japan or Hong Kong or USA or Canada or Switzerland? It is Costa Rica. 2012, Vietnam, Colombia, Belize, poor countries. 2016, Costa Rica, Mexico, Colombia, poor countries. These are countries where there are no TV ads, especially in the rural areas. People are happy with whatever they have. Whatever you don't know, you don't want to acquire. Doesn't give you depression. We share with each other. In developed world, we don't share anything with anyone. So in a blissful state, one is healthy, successful, and have good relations with others in a blissful state. But what we think, that if I am healthy, if I'm successful, if I'm have good friends, I'm in a blissful state. No. First, we have to achieve the blissful state, then we will be healthy, then we will be successful, then we will have a good friends. So what is Sikhism? Sikhism is, it started in Punjab. This is the Punjab province. Before independence of India, Punjab was all these areas, including Pakistan. But after independence, it became this small province. Sikh means a student who is learning every moment of life. Prophet are called guru, which means teacher. So it is a teacher-student relationship. Relationship between Jennifer and you, between me and you, as a teacher and as students. There are 10 gurus, there are 10 teachers. First is Guru Nanak, who founded Sikhism in 1469 AD. His first sermon delivered in 1499 AD stated, "No one is Hindu or Muslim, all are children of God, so they are equal." So Guru Nanak laid the foundation of human rights for all at that time. Because we don't consider ourselves equal, there have been problems, terrorist attacks and everything. We know what happens, causing mental health problems around the world. Sikhism believes in that it's your deeds which make you great, not the religion. We call Sikhism as a religion, but it is a studentship, how to live, how to learn every moment. It's a brotherhood of mankind and fatherhood of God. We have God as our father for everyone, and we're all brothers and sisters. We will not look at each other in a different way. It will help us in the mental health. So Singh, every Sikh, last name is Singh. Kaur is for the ladies. We believe in one God, and it's a God of grace. I have written it, and I highlighted it also. Because in the scripture, it is clearly written that God is neither man or woman. How can I describe it? Guru Nanak said. So because God is neither he nor she, so I wrote it. So Sikhs believe in karma. Here the karma does not mean that it's my luck, that it's my karma. What can I do? It's the deeds which I do. That is called karma. So don't believe in rituals and caste system. Don't drink alcohol and smoke tobacco. The holy book is called Guru Granth Sahib. And this is the only holy book which contains not only teachings of Sikh gurus, but Hindu and Muslim holy men as well. So Guru Granth Sahib is a holy book for the whole humanity. A universal holy book unites all humanity and does not divide it. So Guru Granth Sahib is a universal holy book because it teaches us that there is only one God for the whole humanity, who is the creator of this universe. It talks of how to control mind. The whole Guru Granth Sahib talks about mind, how to control it. Control it of lust, control of greed, control of anger, how to control attachment, jealousy, ego. It teaches us mutual coexistence and cooperation because of the universal Father of God and brotherhood of mankind. It teaches us, it contains, as I said, teaching of Sikh gurus and 30 Hindu and Muslim saints. This is the only holy book which contains teachings from almost all religions. And I already said, the first sermon of Guru Nanak was that we are all children of God, gives us all equality. It does not differentiate between different people. So quotations from some famous writers. H.L. Bradshaw wrote, Sikhism is a universal world faith, a message for all men. This is simply illustrated in the writings of the Guru. Archer wrote, the religion of Adi Granth is a universal and practical religion. And W.O. Cole wrote, the unique concept of universality and the system of langar in Sikhism are two features that attract me towards the study of Sikhism. Langar is a community kitchen where anyone can come and have food any time of the day, especially at night when it's closed, but otherwise anyone can come at any time. Everyone is welcome. There are 5 symbols for a Sikh, that is kesh, uncut hair, and we wear turban. Everyone in the world, whichever country one belongs to, or that is nature's or God's gift, and we have got no right to play with the nature. So we keep it on. Kanga is a comb which we keep, wooden comb, to keep the hair clean. Kach is a special undershot for the chastity and truthful character that is to be worn by everyone in this world if they want to keep a truthful character. Kara is a steel bracelet which represents universe has no beginning and end. And we wear a kripan, that is a sword, with the grace of God to protect the honor of humanity and act as a defender of faith, religion, justice, and humanity. It is to protect the oppressed from the oppressor. So this is a comb, this is the kada, and this is the type of kripan, small one. The Sikh Gurus always preached that outward appearance, that is wearing of these 5 symbols, is of no importance unless they are accompanied by true, sincere devotion and ethics. Gender equality. In the book Religion and Mental Health by Bridges, wrote that Majority of world religions have placed women in a secondary position to men, which has been a major cause of conflict, frustration, stress, and mental disorder among women, and it continues even today. There are reports coming that women are not paid the same amount of salary as their men counterparts. So that gender equality is continuing, and it gives a lot of mental stress. Sikh gurus conferred dignity to women and raised their status in the society and considered them equal to men. That was 530 years ago. I use this in domestic violence and spousal abuse clients of mine. Women's rights in USA. 1893, Colorado was the first state to adopt amendment granting women the right of vote, and 1918 were the last. But Sikh Guru Nanak gave them equal status 530 years ago. Champion of human rights. The ninth Guru, Tegh Bahadur, was born in April 18, 1621, and he was martyred on November 21, 1675. Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor of India, had started a campaign of forcibly converting Hindus to Islam and demolishing Hindu temples. Those who refused were killed, threatened with conversion or death. The Hindus of Kashmir came in a delegation to Guru Tegh Bahadur for help and intercession. At the behest of his 9-year-old son, who later became the 10th Guru and the last living Guru, Gobind Singh, Guru Tegh Bahadur left for Delhi to defend the Hindus before Aurangzeb and was arrested at the emperor's order along the way. He was joined by hundreds of Sikhs on the way. Guru told the delegation of Hindu Pandits to tell Aurangzeb that if he could convert Guru Tegh Bahadur to Islam, they would gladly convert all of them. So while in prison, Guru was given the opportunity to accept Islam, perform a miracle, or be tortured to death. The emperor even promised great rewards to Guru if he converted to Islam, but the Guru refused all options. So along with him were arrested two brothers, Bhai Matidas and Bhai Satidas and Bhai Dayaldas. Bhai Dayaldas was boiled in a pot of boiling water and martyred. Bhai Satidas was burnt alive with cotton put around his body. Bhai Matidas was cut into two with a double-edged saw, while Guru Tegh Bahadur was in a cage. Seeing all this, it was to frighten him, but at the end he was also beheaded in public. So Guru Tegh Bahadur decided to stand up for the right of freedom of worship for Hindus, though he himself was not a Hindu. Guru not showed sympathy for them, but empathy and compassion as well. So empathy is when we say that we have got a common Father, God, and God is in everyone. So he saw the same God in Hindus as he saw in himself. With spirituality sees God in everyone. Don't worship the God, but we see God in everyone. So with that empathy, he sacrificed his life. So he sowed the seeds of human rights at that time, which Guru Nanak started in the 530 years ago. The 9th Guru gave it a practical. And this is being seen today with Sikhs feeding the people everywhere in COVID pandemic, especially in India, where because of lack of oxygen, many people were dying in the hospital. And there are people who are blackmailing not blackmailing, selling oxygen in black, but Sikhs were giving it free in their gurdwaras as a langar. So the modern day human rights movement was born in 1920 after French Revolution, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was proclaimed by the United Nations on 10th of December 48 in Paris. But no one knows that Guru Tegh Bahadur showed the seeds of human rights in 1675. He was the first one. Marriage and morality. Extramarital relations and broken marriages are the focus or the cause of many mental health problems. We all know it. So Gurus laid a great emphasis on the moral character of both men and women. I use this thing in couple counseling for my clients. Sikhism and medicine. Sikhism does not believe that mental illnesses are caused by spirit possession or violation of some religious principles, and healing to be done through supernatural powers and rituals. In fact, the fifth Guru looked after leper patients. Seventh Guru made an Ayurvedic hospital and a research center. Eighth Guru treated smallpox patients in Delhi. And 10th Guru Gobind Singh applauded Bhai Kanhaiya, who started the concept of modern day Red Cross at that time. It was, it's a small story. The 10th Guru fought many wars with the Muslims who were trying to convert Hindus into Islam and all those problems. And in one of the fight, there was a guy called Kanhaiya. He was feeding water after the war to those people who were injured. So he was giving water even to the Muslim injured people also. So he was complained to Guru Gobind saying that Kanhaiya is even giving water to the Muslims. So he was called and he told Guru Gobind Singh that I see God in everyone. Everyone. So I gave them water also. So Guru Gobind Singh gave him ointment also, that take this ointment and put the ointment on their wounds as well while you give them water. So he started the concept of modern Red Cross at that time. Theory of creativity. Guru Nanak 530 years ago hypothesized that before the creation of this universe, there was only void and utter darkness and God in deep trance. From that, God created a sound. With that sound, the universe exploded and many things appeared after that. So there was the Big Bang Theory, which George Lemaitre suggested in 1920, but Guru Nanak proposed it 530 years ago. Guru Nanak hypothesized that there are countless number of galaxies in this universe. That was 530 years ago, in constant motion, and the universe is expanding, which has been proved today. According to Guru Nanak, the Big Bang created air, and air produced water, and all the creations evolved from water, which has been proved correct even today, but he did it 530 years ago. Guru Nanak said that there are countless sources of creation, not only from eggs, womb, earth, and sweat. He said that fetuses of all living beings is formed by the union of mother's egg and father's sperm, and union of elements like air, water, and fire, which is correct today. Everything is created from void, and will merge into the void. That is the black hole concept of today. Guru said 5 centuries ago that body is made up of 5 elements. Now we know. He didn't name those 5 elements, but today we know that they are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and phosphorus. Psychology based on Sikhism. Concept of Maya. Maya is the term used for the temporal world and human attachment to it, called worldly attachment. Everything we see is a Maya, and we get attached to it, to our friends, to our spouses, children, TV, cell phone, everything. Sikhs believe that Maya is a universe created by God for human beings to enjoy, and it is real. But too much of attachment to Maya is not good. When we get too much attached to my cell phone, to my TV, to my spouse, to my girlfriend, to my boyfriend, when they leave us, we get into mental health problems. Prevention is better than cure. We have the power to discriminate between good and bad and make choices. If we fall as a victim of Maya, we cannot blame God. But we are in the habit of blaming the God when we get into depression, when my spouse leaves me, when my girlfriend leaves me, we blame the God even. The Guru says that one should live in this world of Maya like a lotus flower in the pond. The lotus flower lives in a pond but does not get wet, but gives its fragrance. So we live in this Maya like a lotus flower, give our fragrance, but take nutrition from this pond of Maya. The spirit of the human being is raised with the belief that one is not a helpless creature, but a responsible being having a will of one's own, which can do a lot to shape one's destiny. While many of the organized religions say that we have got no control on our fate, it is all decided by the God. But here in Sikhism, we say we are responsible for our own deeds. They're the only difference between an animal and human beings, that we can think and we can change ourselves, animals cannot. The purpose of Sikh worship is to praise God. Praising God means imbibe virtues of the God and develop the spirituality of the individual and the community as well. There are 5 evils, which is not only for Sikhs, but it's again universal. Calm, that is lust, sexual lust. We have seen with the Me Too movement how big celebrities have fallen in grace because of sexual exploitations. Anger, krodh, how it affects us, everyone. Lobh is greed, how we get into, we need everything, but when it becomes a greed, that's when we get into depression because I can't obtain. Moh, attachment to anything, my spouse, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my cell phone, my TV, my everything, whatever we see, when we lose it, we get into mental health problems, depression. Pride, when my pride is hurt, that's the main cause of our problems. So spiritual liberation is, Haume is a great disease, Guru says. Haume is the pride, ego. Ego affects our positive relations with everyone. Ego-bound individuals are always in stress and always having mental health problems. So learning to control ego is through humility, to be humble. Humility is a formidable weapon. Person possessing true humility are full of joy, and people who are full of ego, proud, are always in a problem. The material conception of life enables us to find fault in others by ignoring our own. If my spouse has left me, the fault of hers, not mine, usually. But we should see why she left. I should try to find the fault within myself. Because I don't see the fault with myself, that is because of my ego. True humility is recognition of one's own imperfections, not of others. So true humility is living with love, with content in whatever I have, being free of arrogant pride and ego, performing good deeds, to be kind, to be merciful, to be modest, free of sinful mistakes, untouched by sorrows and pains of material life. That is a true humility. Humility does not mean one should not assert one's rights and let others walk all over you. No. It teaches equality, not manipulation. So spiritual liberation is to liberate oneself from ego. For that, one had to be brave. If somebody comes and hits me out of humbleness, I will keep quiet and move. People might think that I'm coward. My wife might say bad words to me in front of my friends, and I keep quiet, being humble. Others might think that I'm a coward. I'm afraid of my wife, or I'm afraid of this fight. But at the end, I am the winner. I have avoided further problems, further stress, further mental health problems with us. So application of Gurmat in practice. Now I've written here Gurmat, not Sikhism, because what I believe is Gur is the teacher, Mat is the wisdom. So the wisdom from our teacher, that is the application. Like we saw 5 evils, there are 5 virtues. That we should live a truthful life. When I'm truthful, I will never get into stress. Contentment. When I'm contented, I will never be jealous of anybody. I will never be greedy. I will never be envious. And I will never try to get more and more and more by wrongful means. It helps in keeping me mentally healthy. Love of God, that is godly virtues and its creation. Humility, we already talked. Compassion and forgiveness. When I'm compassionate, when I forgive somebody, even giving me any wrongs somebody has done, it improves my mental health. And I am stress-free. So meditation. Wallace and Benson observed that during transcendental meditation, EEG showed alpha activity, increase in the alpha activity. That shows great tranquility of mind, decreased heart rate, 20% decrease in oxygen consumption, and diminished effects of epinephrine and stress-related hormones. In Sikhism, meditation is not done to gain control over these involuntary vital body functions. Meditation is living every moment of your life as a truthful spiritual being, every moment. That is a blissful state, and we never get into mental health problems. So Benson, in his book, Timeless Healing, say that those people who go beyond meditation into the realm of spirituality, report that they sense closeness to God while meditating. Such people had better health and more rapid recoveries. That's what I said before. So spiritual meditation has got a personal effect. I got improved health, I don't get into stress, got a self-respect, I got confident, I can become friendlier, honest, loving with everyone. As a worker, I can take better decisions. As a boss, I can take better decisions. And I take more responsibilities. The work becomes enjoyable. Win-win situation. No mental health problems for me, and no mental health problems for the people I work with. So the concept of Sikhism is honest living, that is Krit Karna, one Chakana, that is sharing with others, and Naam Japana is living a truthful spiritual life. They are all of them good for mental health. So mind, you have controlled my mind, I've got victory over the world. I don't get into problem at all. Negative thinking, jealousy, on page 469 of Guru Granth Sahib, it says suffering, that is trauma, is the medicine, and pleasure is a disease. How can suffering be a medicine and pleasure being a disease? See, because where there is pleasure, there is no desire for God and no real happiness and no blissful state. If I am suffering, we mostly give it that somebody has given me a trauma. The trauma, the suffering is because of somebody. And I blame that person. I'll go and fight with that person. That will, my mental health and that person's mental health is affected. But if I do a self, that why it happened to me? Why did she did it to me? And I find the fault within myself. And I try to get rid of that fault. Then I become a new, born again Kala Singh. So the suffering has become a medicine that improved my mental health. Then I will go to that person and say, thank you very much for doing it to me. If you had not done it, I would not have improved myself. I would not have known this problem with me. That improved the mental health of that person also. Worry. On page 1429 of Guru Granth Sahib, it says, we should not worry over things on which we have got no control. We should worry when something unexpected happens. And Guru says, nothing in this world is unexpected. My spouse can leave me today. My children can leave me today. My girlfriend can leave me today. I can die today. I can get a 4th stage cancer today. Now, nothing in this world is unexpected. So why to worry? We have no control on behavior of my spouse, or children, or my relatives. It is expected. Anything is expected. So we should not worry unnecessarily. And we know that worry is the cause, unnecessary worry is the cause of our poor mental health, depression, and anxiety, because we worry too much. We should be concerned about everything, but not worry about everything. Acceptance. To live a perfect, truthful life, we should live life according to the code of conduct. It is called hukam in Punjabi, of the God. We should not expect anything from anyone, not even God. We can hope from others and God, but not expect it. When our expectation is not met, we get anxious and angry, even at God. We then try to fulfill our expectation by other corrupt means and get into mental health problems. So acceptance of the situation on which we have no power is very important to live stress-free life. The Sikh model of counseling. It is a hexagon. Hexagon means it's not a round circle. Going from one stage to other stage is that not easy like in a circle. Ego is the cause of most of our problems. My spouse leaves me, my ego is hurt. I can't buy this thing. I can't buy the new cell phone. My ego is hurt because I got no money. For everything, ego is the main problem. So I have to self-realize that how ego is affecting me. Why somebody has slandered me, and when somebody slanders me, my ego is hurt. Why somebody has slandered me? Self-realization. And then think about the 5 weaknesses, 5 vices I talked. Think of the 5 virtues, my strengths, which one I have to develop, and develop my humility with that. With that, I will get spiritually liberated in a blissful state. This is a 6th session which I give to my clients, and it is very, very successful. It is better explained in my paper. I think Jennifer might give it to you. She must have already given. I know it.
It's in the syllabus, absolutely.
And the concept of Saint Soldier. It took the contribution of 10 gurus and 239 years of spiritual, social, idealized behavior formation of a Sikh called Saint Soldier. They fear none except the God and don't instill fear in anyone. It is, if the weapon is given in the hands of a saint, that weapon will never be used to torture and kill indiscriminately, which is happening today around the world with all those attacks, whatever is happening. The saint will use the weapon to protect the oppressed from the oppressor and not for oppression. If this can be used by all our military around the world, by our politicians, by all the individuals, the world will be a very, very safe place to live, stress-free place to live, and all those pharma companies which are making all those medications for depression and PTSD and everything will be saved. So, Saint Soldier, war should be waged as a last resort. And weapon is to be used only for protecting oneself and others, not for oppression and senseless killing. War should be waged without hatred for the enemy or any desire or any revenge. Normally, wars are always waged for a revenge, but it should be not for revenge, but to give justice. Territory should not be annexed, looting and booting should not be done, and the women of the defeated party should not be violated. That will be stress-free for them. So it is a way of life that is based on right conduct and moral values which ensure people peace of mind in all circumstances. It is a spiritual science and moral hygiene that cures the mind of tensions and all worries. Remember, life is 10% what you make it and 90% how you take it. That's all about Sikhism also. So Sikhism is a journey of lifetime of studentship to lead a truthful life. That is for everyone in this world, not only for me, not for a Sikh. And that will be truthful life, will be stress-free life. This is my book which I published recently, few months ago, Gurmat Doctrines, Part 1. It gives a Sikh view of who is God, where does God live, what is the gender of God, what is soul, what happens to soul after death, are we puppets in the hands of God, and then the heritage of turban, and there are about 42 chapters like that. And I have compared with the different religions. Almost all religions I have given one paragraph before writing the Sikh view, and the book has been liked by many people. So if any one of you want to get more knowledge about Sikhism, it is available on Amazon.com. And with that, I finish my talk today. Any questions, I'll be very happy to answer. And if you people want to ask me questions later on also, I got my email, which I gave in the beginning. You can email me anytime. You can email Jennifer also, and she can email me. She has got my email, but I can answer any questions now if you have.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your book, Dr. Singh.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to hear that. And you're always incredibly generous with your time and for student consultation afterwards. And I'm like that, I think is, it's rare these days, but it actually, to me, really exemplifies how much you believe in what you're speaking to us about today in terms of your sense of self and giving and generosity and character. And can you, for 2 minutes, just brag about your lovely family and how well your kids are doing? Because you've really built a beautiful life for yourself. And I love to hear updates on how your family is.
Yeah. My wife is good. She is a teacher, and she's going at work today. And my elder daughter is also a teacher in Surrey. She's at work, And my other daughter is a psychiatrist at Singh Memorial Hospital. And my son is a software developer, and he's doing well. Everybody is doing well. And in fact, what I say, I practice. And with my life at this age is disease-free. I've got no medications except like Crestor for my cholesterol, which my GP has been, insistent that I should take. It is as a good preventive, but otherwise I don't take any medication. And I had stresses in my life. I learned. That's where all this talk is coming about, that how to deal with the stress. And now whatever happens, I never get stressed. I do get concerned for some time, but it fades away very fast. That's all.
Thank you so much for that. Every time you talk, even though I've heard so much of this content so many times, and I've been very grateful to partner with you over all these years. All these years I've been teaching this course, you've been so generous to come out and speak to my students, but I take something away different every time. I was screenshotting some of the things just because I wanted to have them on my desktop. And it touches me personally. So I just thank you for that. Do we have any questions or comments from students? Is this unique? Are you guys curious and interested? You can ask any questions. He's really wonderful at just responding to anything that you might have. A curious, open mind. Anyone have any ideas or thoughts or reflections?
I just had a quick question. Firstly, Dr. Singh, thank you for presenting today. One, out of curiosity, I just want to know what the last slide is, because it almost looks like a dinosaur or fossil, but that's not my main question here.
Okay.
But I have to know before what is this?
This is a driftwood fish I found when we went to Mexico on Las Cabos. It's in Hola Grande Faro Hotel. And what written was, I liked it very much. The wood is a symbol of time, of transformation, of drifting. We don't know our point of arrival, and we lose sight of our point of departure. It touched my heart. And the lady is standing next to her is my beautiful wife. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing. My question was about Sikhism and the caste system. Because I think I was also kind of looking at the slides, taking some notes here. And I think you said that Sikhs don't believe in the caste system. So I'm just curious, how does that affect their lives, or how did it affect their lives in the last few decades or so when the caste system was in place in India?
In fact, India from centuries ago, that is Hinduism, there were 4 castes. The highest caste was Pandit, who were supposed to be learned people, and then those who fight, and those who build business, and then the lowest student caste, Dalit, were doing the menial jobs. So it caused a lot of mental health problems among different people. And what gurus also observed, that India has always been colonized for centuries and centuries. But anyone who came colonized India. When I talked about Aurangzeb, the Muslim emperor, they were all invaders and stayed in India for centuries and centuries. And the main reason was the division of this caste system. So when the Guru came, he said that we should not be divided into caste system. We are all children of the same God, and we all need each other for help, and we should all be soldiers as well as saints, as well able to do menial jobs, business and everything. We should be one as a whole being.
Hmm.
That was the main reason of abolishing caste system by Sikh gurus.
Thank you so much.
We have time for about one more question, and then we should probably let students go for lunch. Does anyone else have any final thoughts or questions for Dr. Singh?
I do.
Yes.
In your slide, you mentioned that some atrocities or hardships in our lives are expected. And I find that it kind of goes against the grain of like how we are in North America. I feel like, even with the anti-aging cosmetics, it's like when you're getting older, you're supposed to get wrinkles, like signs basically. And I found it particularly surprising or interesting. You mentioned like that sexual assault is kind of expected or should be unsurprising. So can you speak to that a bit more?
Say again, sexual exploitation.
You meant like it was in your slide. I mean, I did not screenshot it. But like, I think you mentioned somewhere along the line, like sexual assault is somewhat expected as well. So can you mention?
No. It is, these are the 5 evils in human beings. One of them is calm. Calm is a sexual lust. So we should control our sexual lust. Sex is needed for reproduction, but when it becomes lust, that's when the sexual assaults occur. And we should control it. We should control our sex. Sex is only with my spouse, and that too in moderation. But when it becomes lust, it becomes too much. That's when we look for sex in everyone. That's when the sexual exploitation starts. So we should control it. This is what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. It is one of the evils in every human being, and we should control it.
Dr. Singh, some of the students are asking for maybe some handouts from your slides. Is that a possibility?
Why don't you, okay, what you do, you send me the link of my recording.
Yes.
I'll make a YouTube out of it.
Oh, perfect.
And I will send you the YouTube. If you send me today, I will make the YouTube today or tomorrow. And I'll send you the YouTube, and then you can distribute it to the students.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. We're really grateful for having you.
Thank you very much for inviting, and see you next time.
It's always a pleasure. All right, guys, for the rest of you.